Bad Boys Ride or Die, the fourth entry in the Bad Boys franchise. Is this a good movie?
I need to have reality to be focused on me. I'm on TV. I am a Vidiot.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Vidiot On Demand. I'm your host, Philip Williams, because no one else had the balls. Bad Boys for Life. No, it's the other one. Obviously, the first criticism that you could throw at this is that Bad Boys for Life should have probably been reserved for the fourth film, and the fact that it's in the third film kind of feels a bit like, yeah. Ride or Die, which is a good sounding title. I think this really does work title-wise. I'm gonna be honest, I was a little skeptical, just a little bit, because of anyway, maybe audiences would like to go back into the theater to see Will Smith and Martin Lawrence again, especially after such a long time, is what I mean. And when you think about it, the last film that came out, it did pretty well, and it introduced new directors that breathed some life into the franchise, introduced a few new characters, but basically felt very much like a love letter to the first two movies, the first one in particular. If there's anything that you should take away from this movie, it's that the directors are absolute masters. Not just because they managed to find a script that really works for these characters and do something fun, but they decided to go above and beyond and visually create so many cool things that you don't see in action movies, period. They decided to go very experimental in some cases. They managed to do something really unique with the visuals in this film. Yeah, you got something interesting coming your way. Making our two characters have to go on the run, making the cops that are after them somewhat the antagonists is a smart move. There's a lot of cameos. I'll save that for spoilers. All around, it's a good vibe. I think the thing that doesn't quite fire on all cylinders as well as it did in previous films is the banter between the two leads. I'll be honest, there are moments that they're hitting it out of the park and they're nailing that fun dynamic, but then there are times where it, I have to admit, kind of feels a bit forced. They didn't have a little bit of that magic. Like, for example, this scene.
Marcus, I just got one question for you, bro. How the hell you gonna leave my ass at a gunfight to go get the car?
I love that joke. It comes out of nowhere and it's perfect. So it's kind of a hit or miss. Before I get into spoilers, this was, of course, 5 Uncle Phil's. See what I did there? A little connection. If you love R-rated action movies and you miss that kind of 90s vibe, but with a now sensibility and something new to give your synopsis something really to spark up over, then this is really worth checking out in the theaters. Please do, because theaters are dying. Anyway, spoilers. I'm just gonna say it. There's a scene where Will Smith is ready to fight somebody who badmouths someone he loves. And I kind of feel like if you're gonna reference the Oscar slap, you probably should have gave that scene to Martin Lawrence and then have Will Smith be the one who's trying to de-escalate, because I think that would have worked better, at least optically, you know? If you told me that there's gonna be a moment where a character basically goes into like the ancestral plane from Wakanda Forever, I wouldn't believe you. Referencing Get Out, 2 very strong movies featuring black culture very predominantly. It's fun to kind of bring that as kind of references to scenes here. Another standout is the elevator fight that doesn't feature Will Smith or Martin Lawrence, but it's so good. Visually, they just go to places that you're going, wait, what? Suddenly you're just, holy crap. The premise works, and we even got Joey Pants back in the mix, even though he was, sadly, killed off in the last one. It's the catalyst for everything that happens in this movie. I love that they brought the really super tall guy from the first movie, the tech nerd who's sitting there, the little Urkel who suddenly gets up and is huge. He's back, and it's fun to see him. They bring back the best music. Dun, 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 dun. I was so sad in part 2 that they just nixed it. Instead, replaced it with He Who Shall Not Be Named song for that movie. I'm glad that in part 3 and 4, they just said, screw it, no, we're bringing it back. We don't have any personal connection to Will Smith's new love interest, and we're just told off screen that they have so much good chemistry. So when her life is in danger, you don't know anything about her. You just go, oh, okay, that's a shame. So is this a ride or a die? I'm gonna say it's a ride, and you're gonna wanna ride it a little bit more. It made me really wanna go back and watch the other movies, flaws and all, and just kind of like reflect on what a good series of films that this kind of did take over for the Lethal Weapon series. There is a few cameos that come out of nowhere. KB Lame, this guy, I just thought of this now. DJ Khaled shows up, and the only reason why it's funnier in context that he's on screen after a scene where they were talking about conolingus, I think it's just funny that he gets his butt handed to him real quick. If you know, you know. This is Vidiot on Demand After Dark. I want to see more from these directors, more than I want to see a Bad Boys 5, but I wouldn't say no to a Bad Boys 5. And this is what I always thought would have been great for Bad Boys 3, was if Chris Tucker was just suddenly one of them. And he probably wouldn't do it. But it would be fun if Chris Tucker was running around with them. They need him kind of like they needed Téa Leoni in the first movie, and they're all just doing funny bits with each other and action ensues. I think that would be kind of a fun way to kind of round it out. And who knows, maybe Jackie Chan shows up and it implies that he was his character from Rush Hour the whole time. I don't know. Like, subscribe, do all of that weird, wonderful nonsense. If you want, you can always support me on Coffee, or you can even buy some merch. So do all of those things if you really love me, and if you just mildly accept me as a person in the universe you live in, the least you can do is maybe share this video and comment. You can say I suck. That's engagement. I still get something from that. So just tell me how awful I am. Please don't. I don't think my ego can handle that. I hope you remember me when you become rich and famous. All right, bye.